Hi, welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create these two paintings step by step. And to do this, you need the Messy Floral Doodles cutouts, like this, which I have taught in my Messy Flower Doodles class. So if you have already taken that class and you have cut out these focal point flowers, the Messy Doodles, then you can start using them right away. And if you haven't seen that class yet, go visit it right now. I have kept the first three lessons free for you to get an understanding of what this class is all about. And then you are going to learn to create 8 different types of flowers, including all of these beautiful sunflowers, then cherry blossoms, a cluster of flowers like these, and learn to draw them, and then you will learn to cut them also and create this beautiful collection of flowers. And then we are going to use this to create these two pieces of artworks in this video. So I hope you're ready. Let's get started. Okay, I'm using acrylic paper, A5 acrylic paper, and just two colors, burnt sienna and purple. So just using these two colors, I'm going to create the background. So use any two colors that you like, any two colors. We want to keep it a limited palette along with white, but instead of white, I'm using gesso. So gesso and two acrylic colors are all I'm going to use to cover up this background. So there is no rule here, just apply the colors however you want. Mix with gesso to make it little lighter in some places, make random brush marks, use whatever brush you want, just have fun, just play on your paper and just create this background. I'm going to do some splattering, some mark making with the end of the brush, and do all sorts of crazy stuff. So just there is no need to worry about how this is going to look or anything, because it's all going to go in the background once the flowers come on top. So just have fun and play with your acrylics and brush. Okay, so here is my acrylic paper. It has completely dried. The paint is all dried. So I hope you had fun doing this first layer and just play with your acrylics. It doesn't matter. It is not going to be a finished piece. It's just going to be a background layer. So most of it is going to go in the background once we start developing our floral arrangement on top of this. Okay, now it's time to take out all of your messy floral doodles, right? So if you've already done the class and you've already created them and cut it out, it's time to take this out. And if you have not, then first go ahead and watch the class and do this, and so that you have these beautiful floral cutouts in your hand. And now we will start the floral arrangement on this piece of. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up one flower and start building up the layers. So I was thinking of keeping one, so this is where your composition guidelines come into play. So I am going to keep like one as the main focal point of my piece, and which is going to be kind of big. So I don't want to pick any more big items like this. So I have quite a few big ones, right? So I don't want to pick more big ones. Rather, I would want to pick up like really small ones or medium sized ones and start placing them one by one. So let's see how it goes. I'm just going to picking up whichever flowers I'm liking. So if you don't have much idea about composition, don't worry. Just place your flowers around and see, what is pleasing to your eye. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be just, what makes you feel good looking at this piece. I have somehow picking up quite a few of the daisies. Somehow I am liking the daisies a lot. Okay, the ones that I'm placing on the edge, that's because I will cut off the edges. That's why I am keeping a few on the edges like this. And like, this brush mark over here is what I'm liking a lot. So I don't want to cover up this area. So I'm kind of placing it in a way that I like. I think this is good enough to start with. So this is how it's going to look. And if I need to add some more, I will do that in a bit. So what I'm going to do is, before gluing this all on the page, probably I want to add one more over here. It's looking too empty at this point. Oh yes, I haven't used any of the Cosmos, so let me put this one here. I think it's looking good, right? So one of the things to keep in mind while placing the flowers is I like a little bit of overlapping. So you see, some are going in the, this is going in the back, this is coming in the front. So there is a little bit of overlapping. So when you do a little bit of overlapping, that just makes your piece looks really good. So it looks like, they are like kind of like together, kind of like a bouquet. So let me put it up on the up close, and you see this is how the arrangement is going to look. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a photo of this. So you keep it like this so that I have the reference of it when I look at it later. And now what I'm going to do is, now we have already cut it, right? But while cutting, I kept a little bit of white space on the outside, and because that is how I like to place it as a focal point in my art. But right now, since we already have a beautiful background, what I want to do is cut off the excess on the, as much I can, not entirely, so that more of the background is visible. So it is going to be a little tedious process, but take your time. There's no rush. Just take your time. Cutting is quite meditative for me, as I mentioned in the class as well. So just take your time and remember the cutting principle. You keep your scissor in one place and just move your piece with the left hand. You see how beautiful this looks now with the cutouts, especially in between. I have just cut a few things, and now when I place it here, you see it looks so good. I think I have cut out some of the black lines also. So what I'm thinking is, will after I place it, then I'm just going to go around it and make a few more marks. Okay, so likewise, I'm just going to cut all of this and then see you in a bit. Okay, so I finished chopping off the edges and I don't feel there is much of a difference. So this is actually optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Okay, now I am going to use my matte medium and I am going to glue all of these pieces onto this page. And now when I'm looking at it, I actually like this mark over here. So I don't want to, so while placing again, I am just rethinking how I want to place it and just seeing how I like it. I think this is better. So now you will see me gluing, and while gluing I'll probably keep changing a few of the things around and see how it looks. Okay, so it's all glued. Now what I'm going to do is just cut off the edges and let's see what we do next. Okay, so this is our finished piece and I absolutely love it. I'm just thinking if I should add a few more flowers over it to layer it. So I'm just going to place a few and see how it looks and if I want to add more. I think it's looking good if I add just a few more. Not too many, of course. I like this cluster over here. I like this also over here. This I am going to kind of cut it like this and see if I can place it in two places. One here, one here. Yes, I think it's looking more full now. Earlier it was looking a bit too less. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this. And so here is our finished piece and I think this looks really good to me with looks very full and I think I'm going to call it done. And actually while doing this, I was thinking why not do one on blank page and see how it looks. So I'm going to take one more piece of paper, same acrylic paper, and I haven't used much of the cosmos in the previous one. So here I want to make the cosmos as my focal point, and also I did not use any of the cluster of flowers. So I think I'm going to use that as well. And this we are going to do only on the white background. So no need of cutting or anything. Everything is going to get in the background. Maybe one more cluster of flower. Oh, I haven't used any of the wildflowers. So yeah, I think it's good to use the wildflowers on white so that the background doesn't have to be visible. Oh, I like this branch coming on top of the rose. I think I want to use 3 cosmos in this one. So cosmos will be my focal point. I think it looks good. I'm going to stick it down and see how it looks. Okay, so here are my two final pieces, and there is just one last thing that I want to do. It's a kind of like an ink pad, black, and especially for this one, what I would do is just rub it on the side and give it like a good border of black, kind of like, helps to keep our eye inside the page. If you don't have this ink pad, what you can do is take a little bit of black acrylic paint and add it with a sponge. You see, there's such a nice border to this now, and I'll do the same for this as well. Okay, so that is all. Thank you so much for joining me in this lesson, and I hope you get to use your messy flower doodles and create some beautiful artworks using them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.